Hello everyone, welcome to the Tim Booker channel. Wishing you all a pleasant listening experience. Today, I will be discussing the book, Big Potential. This book primarily explores how we can harness the power of communities to achieve success. Believe it or not, the entire concept of this book originates from a streaking incident at Harvard University. Yes, you heard it right. The author's reflections for this book stem from that event. To provide some context, it all began with a historical event at Harvard. In the past, the son of John Adams, one of America's founding fathers, was arrested for streaking with friends at Harvard University. Surprisingly, streaking became a spontaneous activity for Harvard students, and they even gave it a name, the primal scream ritual. Every winter, the night before final exams, students would gather in a place on campus called Memorial Hall, strip off their clothes, and run while screaming. Memorial Hall, in reality, was the common area of the freshman dormitory. The author of this book happened to be one of those freshmen at the time. You can imagine the whirlwind of emotions he went through, from shock to excitement. He thought to himself, how many opportunities does one get to streak at Harvard University in a lifetime? Probably just this once. Missing it would be a lifelong regret. With that in mind, he rushed back to his dorm room to strip off his clothes, ready to join the streaking event. Unfortunately, due to his lack of experience, he encountered three significant issues. First, it was winter, and he shouldn't have removed his shoes. The icy ground made it nearly impossible to walk. He considered going back to put his shoes on, but then he faced the second problem: his dorm key card and ID were in his pants pocket. He had no way to return to his room. In a difficult situation, he was forced to push forward. That's when he encountered the third and most severe problem. As he approached the entrance of the dormitory, the streakers had already run far ahead. If he tried to catch up, he would become the only lone streaker. He found himself unable to take that daunting step. Of course, the first two issues were technical problems with no solutions, but the third was entirely a matter of personal will. In hindsight, the author continuously pondered why extreme events like streaking require a group of participants. Why can a group of streakers run so far while a lone individual hesitates to take the first step? In other words, is there an inherent connection between a group and success? The author didn't take this lightly, he embarked on serious research. He discovered similar phenomena. For instance, there is a study mentioned in a reputable American journal called Journal of Experimental Social Psychology. This study suggests that when you're looking at a hill, having a friend with you makes the hill appear 10% to 20% less steep. Importantly, this effect even occurs when your friend isn't looking at the hill, just being present makes a difference. Furthermore, the author conducted extensive research on Harvard graduates and found that long-term achievement had very weak correlations with individual attributes like grades, credits, and family wealth. Among all factors, the one most strongly correlated with long-term success was a measure called social sensitivity, which gauges how much a student values social connections and is willing to share information with others. So, does all of this imply that there's an inherent link between success and being part of a group? The author's premise is that as long as you are part of a group and not fighting solo, you are more likely to achieve success. Building upon this, if the answer is yes, how can we improve our collaborative networks to better tap into our potential? The author dedicated years to researching these two questions, ultimately developing a comprehensive theory. This book, Big Potential, is the result of his work. The author of this book is Shawn Achor, a psychologist who graduated from Harvard University and also serves as a psychology lecturer at Harvard. He is a well-known figure, having been a major designer of Harvard's famous Happiness course. He has also authored a best-selling book in the self-help psychology field, titled The Happiness Advantage. In the next two parts, I will break down the book into two sections. The first part will delve into why fitting into a group can significantly enhance our chances of success, and the second part will explore how we can better integrate and collaborate within groups. First, the first part. Why fitting into a group can significantly promote success. In simple terms, it's about avoiding personal heroism and embracing the group. When you first hear this proposition, it might sound like one of those inspirational sayings we often share. You might have this feeling because, after all, there's strength in numbers, and many hands make light work. We've heard these kinds of general principles before. In fact, there's nothing wrong with these inspirational sayings themselves. The key lies in whether you can absorb them. For instance, being told to be kind because it benefits you is essentially an inspirational saying. However, if it can go further to explain how kindness and its benefits are causally linked with a clear logical chain, it transforms from empty words into a genuinely useful action strategy. Similarly, to understand why groups are more likely to lead to success, we need solid evidence. In the book, the author presents many cases that illustrate the relationship between groups and success. However, among these pieces of evidence, what I find most favorable is not the cases and data themselves, but rather an evolutionary concept the author references. This concept is known as group selection, which, to some extent, suggests that natural selection operates at the group level rather than just individual selection. It doesn't select for the fittest individual but for the fittest group. Group selection is a complex theory, but I'll provide a simplified explanation through a short story. It involves the phenomenon of fireflies. We all know that the ultimate goal of biological evolution is reproduction. For fireflies, achieving this goal primarily relies on producing light. Male fireflies use their light to attract females. Now, you might think there are two straightforward strategies for producing light: either be the first to light up or find a place with fewer competitors and light up there. In either case, you need to be competitive and ensure that you are the most visible. However, the reality is quite different. Fireflies rarely use these strategies. They often gather on the same tree and light up simultaneously, illuminating the tree like a glowing Christmas tree. Scientists have studied this phenomenon and found that when a male firefly lights up alone, the chance of receiving a response from a female is only 3%. But when a group of male fireflies light up together, the chance of a female response soars to 82%. Notably, this is the probability that each individual male firefly will receive a response, all elevated to 82%. More importantly, scientists discovered that fireflies have a physiological mechanism that allows them to accurately detect when their peers are lighting up, down to the millisecond. This mechanism ensures that you light up together with your peers in perfect synchronization. This phenomenon highlights a fascinating aspect of evolution. Over millions of years, nature has shaped these mechanisms to adapt to group selection. In other words, many of these features in organisms have evolved to adapt to the benefits of group selection. These features are often useless for individuals, just like the precise synchronization of fireflies lighting. But within a group, these features provide significant advantages, benefiting both the individual and the group as a whole. In simple terms, in the past, we believed that to succeed and maximize personal gain, we needed to be competitive, striving to grab resources. However, from the perspective of group selection, we realize that many of these features in biology aren't for individual gain but for the collective good. And it is only when the collective thrives that individuals can genuinely prosper. This trend is even more pronounced in humans because we are advanced social animals with heightened social instincts. For example, the notion of revenge is a behavior that benefits the group. When you look at it from an individual's perspective, revenge might seem strange. If someone wrongs you, seeking revenge typically leads to two outcomes: either you vent your anger or you end up getting hurt again. But neither outcome offers tangible benefits. So, why has this emotion not been purged from our repertoire but instead preserved until today? However, when we adopt a group's perspective, revenge is revealed as a behavior advantageous for the group. The essence of revenge is an effective psychological deterrent. Imagine a society where there is no concept of revenge. In ancient societies without legal systems, this would likely result in a few individuals, physically stronger or more dominant, hoarding resources and subjecting others to abuse. Good people would be mistreated continually, leading to a society without cohesion, easily fractured in the face of challenges. Ultimately, everyone would suffer. But when revenge is introduced, even if only a minority exhibits the behavior, it serves as a deterrent. It's like antivirus software for the group. Those individuals sacrifice themselves, but in doing so, they maintain internal balance within the group, ensuring stability and development. In summary, the author's argument is clear. Since nature has molded us into social animals and bestowed us with instincts that favor the group's well-being, we should embrace the dividends that being part of a group provides. We should not squander them. We often say that success requires the right time, place, and people. In many ways, these three factors point to the benefits that come from being part of a group. Of course, the author is not advocating against having a competitive spirit or using the advantages of group dynamics to pursue personal success. Instead, he's emphasizing that as long as you are within a group, you will inevitably enjoy the dividends of being in a group. This is an objective outcome, irrespective of your personal motivation. Moreover, being in a group brings various other advantages, such as more comprehensive information, increased opportunities, and greater assistance. Okay, this concludes the first part. We've now understood the connection between groups and success. In simple terms, humans are social animals, and many of our abilities are geared toward improving the group. Within a better group, we are more likely to achieve success. So far, we've grasped the link between groups and success. Now, moving on to the second part. Next, we're going to delve deeper into how to find the group that's most suitable for us, maximizing the benefits a group can offer us. Please note that the author talks about the most suitable group, not necessarily the best group. The best group is easy to understand, it's the most outstanding and high-achieving group. But what does the most suitable group mean? In simple terms, it's the group that can provide you with exceptional resilience. Think of it like this: when you're jumping on a trampoline alone, the maximum height you can reach is fixed. However, if a group of people jumps together and you time it right, you can utilize the combined force generated by others to bounce much higher. This powerful force generated by others is known as super resilience. So, what kind of people can provide you with super resilience? Obviously, they may not necessarily be the best trampoline jumpers, but they must be individuals who can maintain the right rhythm with you, precisely offering you that force, commonly referred to as mentors. In real life, seeking mentors requires opportunities. However, we can strategically build our mentor network in a way that while not each person individually provides substantial benefits, collectively, they can significantly increase your chances of success. In this book, the author provides many methods, but I've selected two essential ones that the author himself highly recommends. The first method is to establish your three-tier social network. This involves building 3 types of connections within your social ecosystem. The first type is called pillars, referring to those who steadfastly support you, regardless of the circumstances. These are the people who will stand by your side no matter what happens. You might wonder if this resembles forming exclusive cliques, but it's not that simple. These people are more like a silent support system, akin to the role that families play in our lives. A previous study delved into why people get married, and one of the findings was that besides enhancing your ability to weather life's storms and raising children, marriage serves another significant purpose. It helps individuals find something bigger than themselves. In other words, marriage helps you become a better version of yourself, or more lovable. Similarly, in the workplace, if you have a group of people who consistently support you and stand by your side, their expectations can gradually mold you into someone who is worthy of their support. This is the role of pillars. The second tier of connections is called bridges. These are individuals who, like a bridge, can extend your horizons into different fields and connect you with people from other circles. They may not be your close friends but are often acquaintances. However, don't underestimate the power of these weak connections. Research has shown that within a company, 80% of important positions are not filled through public recruitment but through referrals. In extensive networks of weak connections, you find me, and I find him, allowing for the matchmaking of job positions and candidates. Besides broadening your social boundaries, bridge-type connections can offer cognitive inspiration. They usually come from different professional backgrounds. We often say that geniuses need inspiration, but where does inspiration come from? If you ponder the word inspiration, you'll find it already implies that you are an information recipient. External information is processed in your brain and transforms into inspiration. In other words, to gain inspiration, you need a large volume of input. How do you input it? Clearly, you have to step out of your own cognitive boundaries and connect with diverse people. This is the role of bridges. The third tier connection is amplifiers. These are the high achievers, masters, or respected figures in your proximity. They serve as your mentors, installing an antivirus software in your brain. This software activates the moment a negative thought enters your mind. You immediately think of these respected individuals and recall their words and actions. Then, using these positive thoughts, you banish the negative ones. This is the role of amplifiers. The key here is to convert praise into a statement of fact, rather than subjective judgment. Understand the specific actions or behaviors that deserve praise. For example, in a project negotiation, if a colleague performed exceptionally and sealed the deal, instead of saying, "You are amazing," which might undermine others, you could say, "Your arguments in the negotiation were especially persuasive, and your valuable responses to the partner's concerns greatly contributed to the success of this project." By doing this, you are stating a fact, and the person being praised knows exactly what they did right. They will be more likely to continue these actions, while others will understand what they can learn from. Consequently, the positive energy released in your group starts to flow. The author emphasizes that strategic praise is not a quick fix but a long-term method. It requires consistent effort over time. Eventually, you will notice a more positive atmosphere within the team, and your own benefits will also increase. This is the second method the author provides to enhance group relations, known as strategic praise. This concludes the second part, how to improve your group network. We've discussed two methods, building your three-tier network and strategic praise. Here, the essence of this book by David Young has been deciphered for you. Essentially, this book serves as a reminder, authored by a Harvard University mentor, with the primary intention of reminding individuals, particularly those with exceptional personal abilities, such as Harvard students. The message is that while personal capabilities are important for success, the dividends of being part of a group are equally crucial. Of course, if this message were delivered directly, most people wouldn't feel much about it. That's why the author goes through such lengthy reasoning. This can be seen as a sophisticated reminder. As the saying goes, if you don't absorb it, it's just empty motivation. When absorbed, it becomes a solid action strategy. Congratulations, you've completed another book. Thank you all for your support and attention. Please subscribe to the Tim Booker channel, like, and share this valuable knowledge with your friends. Let's combine wisdom and practice, working together to achieve our financial goals and create a better future. Thank you, and goodbye.